Now the Central Florida product, it's R.J. Harvey. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Levis from the gun. There's a short one caught by Tonjes. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On fourth down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. Back deep to return is K.J. Hamler. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Their own 39-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Let's go now. Fix the Eagles. Fix the Eagles.
Here's Huntley. And incomplete on the deep ball. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Ready. 30, right through. Hut.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Ready.
They go play action here on 1st down. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Here we go. Shot. Bronco 80.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Red, 38. Mega. Ready?
Once more with Mitchell. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Ready. Cut.
Throw left side, complete. That's Grant. And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0.
Broncos nothing.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out. And
out.
now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 2nd and 10.
Like 24.
Now Levis. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
And now another one thrown incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. And they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. When you look at this Bronco defense, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, you know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Drill green.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Back to throw, it's Levis. He'll air this one out from Mims. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Mike 54. Yeah, Mike 54. Set.
Levis to throw it. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in. The Broncos had 7-4 on the year. They were winners the last time out, so they'll be looking here to make it 2 in a row.
And when you and I watched tape prepared for this one, what we saw was a team that competed hard, and they played well in all 3 phases of the game. And I think if they can carry that over this week, they've got a really good chance to emerge victorious yet again.
Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
That's good for a Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Like 54, like 54.
Working from the gun. Here's Levis. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Levis completes this out wide. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Like 24.
Trying to run for it. Here's Harvey. And he will have the Broncos first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Levis. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Levis sets up to throw here. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20.
Okay, Frank.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now?
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Levis looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marvin Mims, 44 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here we go. Set. Red. Yellow. 22. Smash. Red. Black ultra. Cut.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
That is caught, Rashad Bateman.
And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
That's good for a Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line.
Ready.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11. At the
2nd and 11.
Right side, there's Likely with it.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Ready. Set.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go now. 52, boom. Ready?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Well, we saw plenty of throws like this in Columbus last year. He's got his guys a first down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Ready. Black. 95. Hut.
They'll look to throw again. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Slide through. Ready.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half. But the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
Okay.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Yellow.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down.
Ready
Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably pass to both in the arsenal. And it'll be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. Levis from his own end zone. Over the middle to Tonjes, the tight end. Off to the races. Inside the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jake Tonjes, 98 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here we go, set, ready.
First down, here's Mitchell. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go now. Red, blue, striker.
Flowers going to go in motion right.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to air one out.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out in a hurry.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Levis back to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
On target to his man, Likely. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
4 yards on.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Black, 95.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's good.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Come on, steal, Black. 10, Black.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Walker has it. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Second and 9 from the 44.
Blue 32. Claws red. Ready.
Back to throw.
Likely hauls in the quick slant.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21. 23 yards the pickup there.
That's another.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Ready?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
They'll run with Mitchell.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on first and goal.
Mitchell again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game. And this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Set. Ready. Ready.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Zay Flowers, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
The Ravens will line up for the
33. Yellow.
conversion.
And he will get into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On 1st down, back to Harvey. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
They'll run now with Brown. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Like 54.
Here's Levis. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malachi Starks. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Ultra.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that will not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Here's 2nd and 10.
Snap. Set. Ready. Blue 32. Cut.
They'll drop to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Understanding he's just down one possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
The Ravens on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
He'll try and do this himself.
And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Ready.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Gain of 11 on the play. And the Raven first down.
Set hunt. 60 reps. 60 reps. Set.
Another run with Mitchell.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Ready?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Riley Moss. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Intercepted. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Levis from the gun.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
7 brings up 3rd and 3.
Levis. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one.
Hamler now on the return.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
Down. Blue striker. 50. Green. Ready.
On play action, they'll throw. Going deep for Walker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The second down pass. Intercepted. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift, that takeaway. Even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Levis completes this out wide.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw, it's Levis.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4 inches. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
They'll try it now with Harvey.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Once more with Harvey.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Levis, quick completion out wide.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
6 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Come on, black shot. Set, go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Here's 1st down.
Black ultra. Strike 6. Random. Strike 10, black. Cut.
They're going to look to throw.
He's got his man downfield. That's Bateman.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Well, defensively there, you want to play it a little safe and keep the action in front of you. But you definitely are looking to give up plays like that.